A battle royale is breaking out at Walt Disney World Resort, and it comes down to what they're going to do with the Hall of Presidents. Some say, well, they should just destroy the thing. Turns out that tends to be the people who don't like the way the election happened. And, well, that may also include Disney, too. But now we're going to let you in on what we think just might be coming your way at Liberty Square for a day not so far away. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the place that brings sensibility and sanity to a world that needs it desperately. We're happy you're here with us, and we're talking about vacation plans and what Disney is planning for your next vacation if you go to the Magic Kingdom. Specifically, at Liberty Square, will Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, will he be returning to a speaking role at the Hall of Presidents? We're also going to have some fun at the expense of some of the websites we cover, and we're not trying to do that to be mean. I just want to clarify that, but some of the sites out there are starting to get a little wacky, a little zany, as they're struggling with maybe a slight, very slight case of TDS. But will Disney have the same? We'll explain right now. Folks, I think you're going to love this one. It is spicy. It is spicy. Here's what we've got. This one features me involved in the conversation, and I'm doing so because, well, I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I, for the very first time, created a community note on someone. So Jim Shull, who's a former Imagineer, says the Walt Disney Company has a decision to make after the election to keep or close the Hall of Presidents. There is no good outcome, whatever decision the Magic Kingdom makes, which is in and of itself a really stupid thing to say. I mean, I hate to be mean, but I mean, the idea that the election doesn't go your way, so you're going to debate closing the whole thing down, that's just nuts. But he posted this picture. And folks out there, if you're much of a Disney fan, you know that is not the Hall of Presidents. Jim Shull, I'm sorry, something is going wrong. And looky here, because I pointed this out, and then here it came. Readers added context that they thought people might want to know. The illustration picture displays the American Adventure Pavilion, which is located at Epcot, and not the Hall of Presidents show building. Oh no, an Imagineer gets caught not knowing which park he's in. Well, let's go park over here at WDW Magic for a minute, because the bias is strong. And some of these sites and some of these bloggers and vloggers, they cannot hide it. Sorry, WDW Magic. I don't think we've ever aimed our ire at you, but you've earned it with this one. We're going to have to be a little bit tough. Here's what it says. What's next for Disney's Hall of Presidents after Trump wins 2024 election? This is going to be some kind of special. Here we go. With Donald Trump's win in the 2024 presidential election, questions are swirling around the future of the Hall of Presidents at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom. This classic attraction, known for its lifelike animatronic figures of all U.S. presidents, faces several potential directions as Disney decides how to handle the president-elect. Well, I mean, you could just do what you've been doing. Okay. Let's explore a few possible scenarios for its future. Kamala Harris' victory would have simplified Disney's decision. Had Kamala Harris won the election, the decision would have been far more straightforward. As the first black and female president, her inclusion would have represented a historic milestone, one that Disney could highlight as an important and relevant part of American history. Such a moment would resonate with the attraction's purpose of celebrating pivotal leaders in progress, which shows you that WDW Magic thinks, well, that the majority of Americans don't know what they're doing. Good job, WDW Magic. Way to weigh in on politics there. Also, no, having to build a brand new animatronic is not the most simple thing to do. Continue the current format. Trump gets a speaking part. The Hall of Presidents, since Bill Clinton in 93, has featured the current president delivering a brief speech following Trump's 2016 election. The attraction gave him a speaking role which, while divisive, stayed true to its format of including each sitting president. Continuing this tradition made the Trump animatronic, which is already on stage as one of the past presidents, delivering an updated speech for the 2025 term. Now, this is clearly the most simple thing that can happen, because Trump, who does not look at all like Trump, could just be moved back to the front, and they use the old speech, and that's it. You just go back to the old one. That's the easiest, but Magic doesn't seem to understand that. This option maintains continuity, respecting the historical format of the attraction. However, given the polarizing nature of Trump's political career, this may again draw mixed reactions from park guests, as it did in 2017. Disney would need to weigh the value of maintaining tradition against the potential for controversy. Well, at least they're advertising Daisy Bras over here. Good job there, Magic. They could remove the speaking roles for presidents. That's something they could do, I guess. And they want to sidestep political sensitivity because they only like it when one side wins over here at WDW Magic. Blah, 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 blah. I want to show you this, though. This is what's so funny to me. So as some of you may know, and you can go research this, once upon a long time ago, I would post on the forums of WDW Magic. And I had this scoop years and years ago about the possibility that Disney was working with Lin-Manuel Miranda and Weird Al Yankovic to bring the Muppets to the Hall of Presidents. And I think it was legit. And then that did not work out. But the Muppets still came to Liberty Square. It didn't have Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it didn't have Al Yankovic working on it. But they still came to Liberty Square with the show they did. Now, it's canceled because of issues with puppeteers. But take a look at this. It says, relaunch as a new attraction, Muppets to the rescue. Another option that has been surfaced numerous times over the years is to reimagine the Hall of Presidents entirely, taking it in a new direction with a fresh concept, possibly even removing its connection to current presidents. One idea that carries some credibility is a Muppets-hosted attraction. The Muppets have already made appearances in Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square with the Muppets Present, Great Moments in American History, a show that added humor and charm to the area while teaching historical facts. Now, what's amazing about this is literally my scoop, and folks, you've never heard me do this before. I have never complained about anybody doing this, but this one is just so egregious. This is literally my scoop, and they just post it like it's their own, and it's 3 or 4 years old. There's no longer any validity to it. They suppressed it back in the day, and they want to bring Kermit the Frog in because they don't like Orange Man. They want Fozzie because they don't like the fuzzy hair of Donald Trump being back up there speaking again. This is the wildest thing. And this is the issue with Disney blogs, vlogs, bloggers, and everybody else. Guys and gals, listen. You don't have to insert in every single article your own biases to the point that you drive away readers. Like, this is not hard. You don't like him. Tough. You might like the next person who's president. And it needs to just keep working the same way. But I want to go to the panel now and ask Lorena, Erica, Jonas, what do you all think will happen with Hall of Presidents? Do you think that Disney will do the right thing and just say, you know what, fair is fair, we'll keep going the same way we have? Or do you think we're going to get a Disney that is the resistance, Le Resistance, breaks out in Liberty Square? Which way do you think this will go?
I think it boils down to the money.
Money, 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 says Erica.
What can they afford to do? You know, I could see them reimagining it. It seems like just with their current history and, you know, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So I would think that they're probably going to reimagine it on a very strict budget. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think I don't see any reason they can't just move him, bolt him down in the middle, and have him talk again. They've already got the recording. Lorena, you think that'll happen, or you think we're going to get controvery? Maybe a 2-year refurb, Lorena. Maybe a 2-year refurb. It just takes
maybe under construction. It's going to take us 3 years to do it. Disney really can't afford to piss off more of their paying customers, especially given with this past election. So I agree. The easiest thing for them to do is just use what they have now, do a new script. You've already got the animatronic. Maybe if you got some leftover money, kind of make it look more like Trump instead of, Hillary.
They're not going to do that. They hate
Hillary
the guy.
Trump. So, I think that's probably where they're gonna go with that, and add something else to that article. 2 things. One, Kamala is not Black, and she did verify that. So I really don't like that pandering line that's in that particular article. But also, and I totally completely lost my train of thought. I really do that. With what was going on in 2017, because I was visiting the parks around that particular point in time, and that was the only time I've ever seen Disney security in the Hall of Presidents, because you had a couple of people who couldn't control themselves, who decide to give these crazy outbursts and ruin everyone else's vacation just because they want to make it a point. There are several presidents I don't particularly agree with, but it's important for the sake of historical record and how this country was founded to see those people and know who they are.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I detest some of the presidents that are up there, and I'm not talking about the ones you might think of, folks, in modernity. I'm talking about some of the ones who did some awful, horrible things back in the 1800s.
Woodrow Wilson.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, that's why we stopped going to the Hall of Presidents, is because of the outbursts. And I was like, if this is how it's going to be moving forward, then I'd rather just sit in the scorching heat than listen to that.
Right.
I'm trying to escape.
To prevent people from assaulting the animatronics. It's wild. But Lorena, you were there yesterday, right? You were at the Hall of Presidents. What was the experience like at the Hall of Presidents post-election?
Well, I got there really late at night for my birthday. It was like, I'm just going to go to the Hall of Presidents. And it was open. And there weren't too many people because it was close to, I want to say, like 9 o'clock at night. But interesting cross section of America: old, young, white, Asian, Black, different, ability levels, all in there watching the presentation. And when Donald Trump's name was said, a lot of people started clapping.
That's not allowed at Disney. That's not allowed. You're gonna get Minnie Mouse in there on you.
And the loudest clapping was from a Black family that was in front of me.
Oh no, now they really don't know what to do. They're completely confused at that one.
Don't tell Jimmy Kimmel.
He's been hosting the Oscars and it's not working. Jonas, finally you've come up with a job. Jimmy Kimmel is going to perform live at the Hall of Presidents every single day. That'll be the solution.
In all seriousness, can I weigh in on this here? I think I've got a solution here for Disney in everything that they do.
Go ahead. Tell us about Jimmy at the Hall of Presidents. Go ahead, Jonas.
Oh my.
He's got this.
Of course you put him up here while I'm talking.
No. I tease. Go ahead.
I'm joking too. Okay. So obviously Donald Trump, controversial, and the people within Disney who just demolished one of their most popular attractions. And then they demolished one of their other most popular attractions. I'm speaking of Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World and Splash Mountain at Disneyland. To spite their own face here, they cut off their nose. So the Hall of Presidents, which is not something that people generally go to Disney specifically to see, and that's the only kind of ride Disney is in the tank for these days. They want headlines. They want big things that get people into the park, which is another reason that they're getting rid of Rivers of America in order to put in a Cars attraction, which is a travesty among travesties. But when that was announced that they were getting rid of Rivers of America, the Hall of Presidents is right there. If they're doing a huge project, even though it would impact the walkways through the park, I'm sure they would want to sweep up the Hall of Presidents with that, as long as they had the money to change that as well. So here is my big solution here. You take it back to the Abraham Lincoln days. You have Abraham Lincoln, by the way, first Republican president there.
You say that too loud, they're never going to let him back on stage.
Well, the other thing is he's very anti-slavery, which, by the way, the Republican Party originally founded to end the blight of slavery there in the Democrat states in the South. I'm a Southerner when I say this, so I have full rights to point this out. So there's a lot of things they can really shout about there if they want to be full-throated in their explanation of history on this one. And one more that I'm going to add in here. My goodness, get some sponsors for each of the attractions in the park. They are better when you get sponsors. Why? Because you're accountable to someone else.
Are you suggesting that they embroidered NASCAR on Joe Biden's suit coat there? Is that what you're suggesting?
Or at least, I mean, honestly, sponsored by NASCAR would be great for the Hall of Presidents.
I have always wanted George Washington with a Nike swoosh.
And I'm going to point out the fact that Test Track is getting a refit when that is an attraction that Disney doesn't care about. Is it's GM right now? It used to be what Simmons sponsored Spaceship Earth and
Enterprise is doing it now.
Oh well.
Oh, that's new.
Jonas, can I just show you this?
When the sponsors, I have to, yeah.
Look at that animatronic.
Gosh.
Hillary never looked so angry.
And this is how bad they are at this. Like, the guy wears a red tie all the time. It's always basically either gold or red, and they're so bizarre.
Anyways, so when they sponsor the attractions are better. It allows them to put more into the parks. These are people eaters on some level, and I think it would show some goodwill here if they partnered with something that reads right-leaning in this company that now reads very left-leaning. Disney can still move to the right politically, which we're talking about a entertainment company. They really don't need to be thinking about whether they're left and right. They need to move to the right. And the best way to do that would to find, and not Bud Light, no matter if the Disney executive is listening to this right now, something that actually reads right.
Jonas clarifies very quickly. Yeah.
Because we know that Disney executives listen to this show on occasion, and they're going to want to read the room on what the Hall of Presidents.
That's a great point. That is a great point. We know that Disney execs listen in. They're some of our biggest fans out there, I'm sure. And on a day like today, they may be trying to figure out the pulse of America, come over here and figure out what we're saying. And I would say, just put Trump back where he goes, keep the show the same, and move on. The bigger deal you make out of this, the more trouble you're going to have. So just don't. I love Abraham Lincoln, second best president ever. George Washington's the best. Abe is second. But if you make these big changes, in my belief, it's just going to draw attention to the idea that you can't let Trump have the speaking role and do the normal thing, and just do it. Don't make a big deal and go on. And Disney, if people ask you about it and they make a big, fuss about it, you just say, no comment, and move on. Just move on. And folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, it would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun.